Hi, I'm Kim. Today, we're going deeper into science and thinking like real scientists. Look around our planet, there are millions of living things. Tiny insects, fragi, giant whales, fungi, and microscopic organisms. Imagine trying to study all of them without any system. It would be confusing, messy, and almost impossible. That's why scientists use something called classification. Classification helps us organize living things into groups. And once things are organized, we can understand them better. It's a bit like organizing your school bag. Books in one section, stationery in another, so you can find things quickly. In science, classification helps us find patterns and relationships between living things. Classification means grouping living things based on similarities and differences. Scientists don't just group things randomly, they look at specific features. For example, does it have legs? Does it have wings? Does it live in water or on land? Does it have fur, feathers, or scales? Let's take an example. A dog, a cat, and a horse may look different, but they all have fur, give birth to live young, and feed milk to their babies. So they are grouped together as mammals. Now compare that to a bird. Birds have feathers, lay eggs, and most can fly. So even though birds and mammals are both animals, they are in different groups. This helps scientists quickly understand what makes each group unique. One of the most important ways to classify animals is by looking at their skeleton. Some animals have a backbone. This is called a vertebral column. These animals are called vertebrates. Examples include humans, dogs, birds, fish. If you touch your back, you can feel your spine. That's your backbone. Now, some animals don't have a backbone at all. These are called invertebrates. Examples include spiders, insects, worms, jellyfish. In fact, most animals on Earth are invertebrates. So even though vertebrates are easier to study, invertebrates make up the majority of life. Let's break vertebrates into smaller groups. First up are mammals. Mammals have fur or hair, give birth to live young, and feed them milk. Examples: humans, dogs, elephants, whales. Next, we have birds. Birds have feathers, wings, and lay eggs. Most birds can fly, but not all, like penguins. Now let's look at fish. Fish live in water and breathe using gills. They have fins and scales. Reptiles have dry, scaly skin and usually lay eggs. Examples: snakes, lizards, turtles. Amphibians live part of their lives in water and part on land. They start life as larvae like tadpoles and then change form. Each group has unique features that help them survive in their environment. Not all living things are large enough to see. Microorganisms are tiny living things that can only be seen using a microscope. Examples include bacteria and some fungi. Some microorganisms are helpful. For example, bacteria are used to make yogurt and cheese. Others help break down dead plants and animals. But some microorganisms can cause disease. This is why hygiene, like washing your hands, is so important. Even though they are tiny, microorganisms play a huge role in life on Earth. Scientists use classification keys to identify organisms. A classification key is like a series of questions. Each question has two choices. For example, does it have wings? Yes or no? If yes, go to next step. If no, go to a different example. You see an unknown animal. Step 1. Does it have a backbone? Yes. Step 2. Does it have feathers? Yes. You can now identify it as a bird. This step-by-step process helps scientists identify organisms accurately. A scientist named Carl Linnaeus created one of the first classification systems. He grouped organisms based on their physical features. He also gave every organism a scientific name. For example, humans are called Homo sapiens. This system is used all over the world today. It means scientists in different countries can understand each other clearly. Let's think like scientists. Why is classification important? Because it helps us organize and understand living things. What's the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates? One has a backbone, the other doesn't. What do classification keys help us do? Identify organisms step by step. And here's a challenge for you. If you discovered a new animal, what features would you look at to classify it? That's exactly what real scientists do. You're not just learning science. You're thinking like a scientist.